Okay, I want to do a little bit of an introduction today. This is 2013 Ford Focus ST. It's going to be one of the next project cars for the channel. Picked this up from a coworker of mine with a blown engine, and so hoping to put it back together and maybe go with a little bit bigger turbo, downpipe, front mount intercooler. You can see I got the engine out already. Wasn't too bad to come out, surprisingly. I noticed there's no actual subframe in this thing, so it's pretty much as simple as just removing the engine mounts and lifting the car up and lowering the engine out. So pretty straightforward, relatively easy. Afternoon job, not a big deal. A few things I'm going to do while it's out. I'm going to get a new clutch. This car has roughly 190 or so thousand miles. I'm not exactly sure, but we'll say 190 just to be safe. Does show that wear. There's a lot of rock chips, as you kind of see if I come along on the hood and, you know, all over the bumper. And it's not the best of paint, but, you know, high miles. This car was driven quite a bit for travel, for work, and it had a Ford Stage 1 tune on it, which I've read about maxes these turbos out around 25 psi. That might even be a little too much for what they should have done, but sure enough, the engine blew up, and I got it relatively cheap, and so I'm going to be doing a rebuild on it. I'm pretty excited for this car. I didn't know anything about them before I got it. Now that I've been reading, I'm hoping to get around 350 to the wheels. Looks to be doable. My plan is EFR 6758 with downpipe, and it has an exhaust on it. I'll keep the exhaust that's on there. And I got Mishimoto front mount intercooler. I don't know, maybe a rear motor mount. This has the pre TSB mount, I guess. They went to electric, but I'll stick that in there for now. I'm going to stick with the stock mounts on the sides. I'll probably stick with, you know, everything that's relatively stock for now, other than the turbo, because I'll do that while it's out. But maybe a CPE stage 2, maybe just an insert. I don't know what I'm going to do there. I don't want to deal with the vibrations, but I also don't want the wheel hop and the banging or knocking or whatever it is I'm reading about that these cars seem to have. So yeah, I'll show you the car a little bit. It is lowered on, I think, iBox and Bilstein shocks, maybe. Next time I get it up in the air, I'll have to take a look. But pretty straight. I think this was repainted at some point. When the light hits it, you can kind of see there's a little bit of blending on this door. It just doesn't look factory. But you can see here it does have the Ford Performance exhaust. It's pretty nice. I do have the factory one that came with it also. And then the factory suspension, which I'll probably be unloading. It had these MSD coils. I don't know if they're any good or not, but that's what the car had, so that's what I'm sticking with. Obviously there's no power, so I can't show you much, but did come with a car cover, so that's nice. Of course the car is just filthy, so I didn't want to put the cover on it with it being this dirty. But let's see if it's too dark in here. But for 190 or so thousand miles, the seats are in great shape, surprisingly. Not much bolster wear. Rest of the interior looks pretty good. Passenger seat doesn't look like it's hardly even been sat in. So yeah, pretty nice looking car. It did have the Stage 1 tune, like I said, so it had plugs and full exhaust and all those other things, but that's not going to matter too much with the upgrades I plan. But yeah, we'll see. So I'll show you what the engine will look like over here. Shop's a little bit of a mess, but so here's the engine. Came out. Everything looks pretty clean, especially for this mileage. Didn't see any oil leaks, or no transmission leaks or nothing. This is coolant that I spilled when, you know, disconnecting the lines to get the car out. But everything looked nice and dry. Everything looked really clean. Kind of do an overview here. But yeah, pretty happy with this thing so far. Working on it was relatively easy. discovering a few weird Ford quirks, like no tensioner on this belt, which was a first for me, but I guess that's the way they do it. Turbo was in pretty good shape for this many miles, surprisingly, despite its hard life. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm looking for a new engine now. I had a line on one the other day, but I told the auto parts place I'd be there the next day because it was late. I was trying to respect them, and I called the next day to let them know I'm on my way, and they sold it. So yeah, you snooze, you lose. Perhaps could have put a deposit on it, but I didn't, and that's what happens. So still on the look for an engine. I don't think I'm going to build one just yet. I'm just going to go with a stock block, try to get around 350, and probably call it good. Maybe I'll build the one I took out. Not sure yet. We'll have to see, kind of see how the stock block goes, see how much fun I have. Maybe I'll just end up flipping this car and getting rid of it. But for now, this is a project car for the shop, so there'll be a bunch more videos coming. So if you're into this kind of thing, just, yeah, keep watching, and hopefully I'll have some videos up soon. Thanks.